guys over down here. So we're out playing the Boxer again. As you can see, I've got the roof down. It's a bright but cold autumn day in Scotland. It's 8 degrees, so we've got the heater on, got the bonnet on, and the roof down. The Boxer's a lot of fun to drive, whether the roof's up or down. But given the choice, I would always have it down, you know. It's just, it adds a new sort of dimension to the drive. Everything feels a bit different. Feel a bit more connected to the outdoors, which is always good. Feels a little bit faster in some ways as well, which is a bit strange. Just slow down here. Got some water on the road. Cobwebs, have a wee hours blast the countryside. It's always good for the soul doing that, you know. Try and get out and drive as much as you possibly can. Here we go. So today I thought I'd do a video on whether or not it's a good idea to buy a Porsche during the times of economic uncertainty, if you like. Sometimes just with the law of economics, you know, we go in and out of recessions. Here in the UK, at least anyway, we've got a kind of cycle of sort of boom and bust, usually with the housing market and the car market as well, around about the same time. It goes, if you look, it goes in a kind of a cycle. And it's hard to predict exactly when that happens, you know. Some people think there's an 18-year cycle with the housing market in the UK. Whether or not that's true, it depends, you know. But there is definitely a kind of a cycle of economic events, if you like. We get a recession, followed by growth, you know, followed by recession and growth, and it repeats itself throughout. So these economic uncertainties affect the housing market and also the car market. So some people may be wondering whether or not it's a good idea to buy a Porsche during times of economic uncertainty. So today I thought I'd share my view on that, and I've got some experience of it as well, can share. To give you an idea, or to kind of shed a different opinion on it, in case you're in a position where you're thinking about buying a Porsche during a recession perhaps. Typically during recessions people tend to kind of rein in their budgets a little bit. Interest rates can be higher, people's mortgage repayments can be higher, the price of food and fuel can generally be a little bit higher, so people often at times sort of rein it in a little bit during times of recession or economic uncertainty. A Porsche is certainly, you could say, it's a luxury item. It's not necessarily, it's not a necessity, although it could be depending on your viewpoint. So, is it a good idea to buy an expensive item such as a Porsche during times of economic uncertainty or recession? Well, let me take you back to 2007 when I bought my first Porsche. That was during the time where, just before the world financial crash happened in 2008, and the build up to that was what they called the credit crunch. And I remember it quite clearly, you know. There was a lot of chat with the estate agents about, and on the news about the credit crunch, where it was just starting to be the first little kind of happenings of what became the global financial crash. So there was a lot of uncertainty about where the housing market might go, and you know, and all this kind of a thing. Well, do you know, I found myself in a position around about that time to be able to afford my first Porsche, and it was quite a financial step up for me. So I had to give it some careful consideration before doing it. And I had all kinds of thoughts and concerns, you know, what if the market goes out of the classic car market, or what if the bottom falls out of the classic car market, I should say. You know, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if house values plummet and all that. So what actually happened was, I decided that I was going to go ahead and do it anyway, regardless of what I was hearing about on the news, about all the uncertainty and all this. And I thought, you know, nothing's a given, you know, and my personal thoughts at the time were, if the worst comes to the worst, hopefully I can offload the car that I've just bought and either not take too much of a hit or hopefully get back what I paid for it ideally. But my thinking at the back of my brain was, if all this goes horribly wrong, what's the worst that could happen? I still get an asset, I can still sell it and get some money back for it. So the future's never certain regardless. So my mindset was, buy the dream car anyway. You know, fortune favours the brave, I always say, and let's just see how it plays out. So that's what I did. I threw caution to the wind. I bought my dream 911. My mindset at the time was, I've got the cash to buy this car. I didn't have to borrow against it. And what's the worst that could happen? And the, you know, assets start to depreciate, and I've got to get out quick and kind of sell the car for what I paid for it, or most of what I paid for it, and get out and get my money back. And I believed that I could. So that's what I did. Like I say, I threw caution in the wind and I bought my dream 911 with a view to hopefully holding on to it. And what happened in the economic situation after that was, when the 2008 financial global crash happened and assets plummeted across the range, house prices plummeted, the classic car market kind of plummeted a little bit. But do you know what I did? I just held firm. I didn't panic. I didn't sell as soon as the market looked as if it was going to dip. I just held firm in the belief that, you know, I may be holding this car long term anyway, and we'll see what happens in the future. So the benefit of hindsight, what happened was that the markets all dipped in 2008, 2009, and then they very, very slowly started to climb back up again. So in the end, I ended up selling that car for what I paid for it 3 years later. So the lesson I learned was that still buy your dream car during a recession or economic uncertainty. You know, if you can do it during the financial crash, you can almost do it any time. As long as you're planning, as long as you can hold for a few years if you need to, and or sell quite quick and get your money back quite quick should you need to. And both of those options were available to me. So the takeaway from me was, yes, if you really want to and you can afford it, you can buy your dream Porsche during a recession and not have to worry too much about being a financial disaster. So that's really my message today, guys. If you are wondering, is it worth waiting off to see if the market comes down a little bit before buying your dream Porsche? Well, there's no guarantee that it will. It's difficult to time the market, I've learned. With any assets, you know, with Porsches. Oh, U-turn here. It's hard to time the market with any asset, guys, be it Porsches, stocks, you know, classic cars in general, houses. So it can, you know, I wouldn't wait in the hope that the market might dip and you might get your car cheaper next year or the year after. I wouldn't wait that long. Life's too short, guys, as I always say in these videos. Life's too short to hang around and take chances. If you've got the money to buy your dream Porsche right now, whatever that Porsche is, I would generally advise that you go for it. There is a wee caveat though, there is a wee thing I would say about that. I would be a little bit more cautious about spending, like, you know, 40,000, 50,000 pounds plus on any kind of asset just now, right now, at this point in time, which will really depend when you're watching this video. But generally speaking, I would be kind of a wee bit more cautious about spending huge amounts of money on any asset during a financial economic downturn or a recession. Generally, smaller amounts are generally a little bit safer. That's just common sense, you know. When I was buying my 911 back in 2007, they were going for like £12,000, which is kind of strange because now these cars are worth 4 times that, but back then they were going for £12,000, so it wasn't a huge amount of money that I was kind of using at the time. So again, my message is, guys, don't hang off, buy a dream Porsche when you can afford it. During times of recession and economic downturns, I would kind of rein it in a little bit and try not to spend too much money, and certainly try not to spend any borrowed money. I'd be much more cautious about spending borrowed money. Always try and buy your Porsches with cash that you have. It's always a much safer option, guys. And always buy a Porsche that's going to hold its value or hopefully appreciate over time. And that means buying something slightly older that has shown to hold its value. You know, maybe something like an older Boxster that we're in right now, or an older vehicle like maybe one of the transaxle Porsches like a 928 or 924 or 944. All those cars are at an age where they're holding their money. Classic 911s, you know, you're going to spend a little bit more. You're going to spend about 20 grand plus on one of those just now, so you're spending a little bit more. So you've potentially got a little bit more at risk than what you've got with spending a little bit less. But having said that, guys, if your dream car's a 911 and there's a recession and 20 grand will buy you one, like it probably will, I'd probably still be tempted, subject to the car, of course. It's got to be the right car with the right specification and the right history. Yeah, so that's pretty much my main message, guys, is I